Morning. Okay, so a couple of things to talk about. We got housekeeping to talk about. Okay, so a couple of quick things here. Retake. Okay, first of all of my logic homework is graded in the grade book. Okay, so if you look at your grade book and you see an NHI, please fix that. NHI stands for not handed in. Okay, that's a 0 in the grade book. All right. All logic homework has to be done this week. By Friday afternoon. And the reason why is because all of my retakes are on Monday. At 10 o'clock through 12 o'clock. So if you're planning on doing a retake on any of those sections, or if you missed the quiz and you have to take it, it's going to be finished, and all of those quizzes have to be done on Monday from 10 to 12. Use the office hours link. In order to do a retake, you have to finish your homework. All of your homework has to be in. Okay? If you're not feeling like you need to fix a section, then you need to on find me and get on office hours, and we can work and fix these things. Okay, my office hours are after school. They're on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday after school until 3:30. Okay, if you're looking at, let's just say you did really lousy on section 3 and you want to retake it. Well, why don't you find me after school and we can work on section 3 together, and we can make sure that you're good to go before you take the quiz so that you do better. Okay, so in order to do a retake, your homework has to be finished. Okay, all homework has to be completed. All homework and submitted has to be submitted by Friday afternoon. Okay, so are we good? Is anybody planning on doing a retake on Monday? Please tell me in the private chat. Okay, couple of you guys. All right, remember, if you're planning on doing the retake, check the grade book and make sure all of your homework is done. All right, and then you can do the retake. All right, if you feel like you need help and you're not sure, please find me and we can work on it and make you stronger. Okay, all right. Okay, so we're all good on all this. Everybody knows what's going on. Okay, all right. So I started looking at some of your coordinate homework, and it looks like some of us are still having issues. So here's what I want to make sure. First of all, everybody should either have a calculator nearby, or like your phone with a calculator on it, or you can use the Desmos calculator on my Canvas page. But please, please, please have something nearby that can help you with the arithmetic, because most of the mistakes that I'm seeing are the adding and subtracting of the positives and the negatives. Okay, some people are having issues with reducing the fractions. Okay, so Desmos is really good about reducing the fraction. So please, please, please have something nearby. So today what I want to do is I want to practice a little bit more on slope, make sure that we're good to go and we're solid and ready to go. And for the last part of the class, there's an assignment that I'm going to have you work on. Okay, that's just more practice. All right. Okay. So slope. So some of you were having issues with some of you didn't like the stacking method. You didn't like this one. If you did like it, cool, use it. If you don't like it, that's fine. Use the formula. Let's work on the formula today. So we'll do an example with the formula. So let's do 2, 7, and 4, 8. Okay. Now, the formula says that it's y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. When we call these guys x1, y1, x2, y2. That's a 2 right there. Okay. So if this is our formula and those are my x's and y's, we start with the template, right? We're going to be subtracting, so we might as well put them up there. And it's going to be y2, which is the 8, minus the y1, which is the 7. x2 is a 4, and x1 is a 2. So 8 minus 7 is 1, 4 minus 2 is 2, and that's reduced, and we're done. Okay. So let's do another couple examples. The formula, I'm just going to write it at the top so we all can see it. Okay, so let's find -2, 3, and 7, 0. Okay, does the order matter? That's a really, really good question. The order doesn't matter as long as you keep it the same. So let me this is a really good question somebody asked in the private chat. Thank you for asking that. So I'm gonna pause on this for a second. Well, actually, let's use this one as an example. Okay, let's do it this way. All right, and see what happens. So 0 is the second one. Remember, this is y2 and y1, x2 and x1. So 0 minus 3 and 7 minus a -2. So 0 minus 3 is -3, and two negatives next to each other become positive. So this is 7 plus 2, or 9. And this reduces to 1/3, -1/3. Okay. Now, if we,
Sir, okay.
yes, was there a question?
Yeah, can you do it the other way, please?
Sure, absolutely. If I did it, y1 minus y2, x1 minus x2, you see, we just kind of took them and flipped them around, okay? It is fine to do that, but you have to do
Sir,
it for both of them. You can't just do it for one of them. You see, if you're going to do 1, 2, you got to do 1, 2. You can't do 1, 2 and 2, 1. You see, that's not going to work. You got to keep the pattern. Whatever pattern you pick, you got to keep it. So let's try it with this one. The first one minus the second one, 3 minus 0. And -2 minus 7. So 3 minus 0 is 3, -2 minus 7 is -9, and we still reduce down to -1/3. The only difference is the signs, okay? And you still get the same numbers, but you'll notice that my negative popped up here, whereas on this one, the negative popped up there. But it doesn't matter because the number's still negative, and I still get the same answer. All right? So it's important that whatever one you choose, you just stick with it. Okay, if you like going left to right, that's fine. If you like going right to left, that's fine, but just keep it.
thank you.
Sure, good question. Thank you both for those questions. Okay, let's do this one. Okay, you guys try that one and put your answer in the private chat. Always remember to reduce your fractions, people. Okay, so it'll be -1 minus -4 and -1 minus 2. Two negatives cancel out, and that's 3. Wait a minute. Oh, there's a negative. That's a -1. Whoops. -1 minus 2 is -3, which is -1. Okay, I think people mess up with, some people were putting in 5s into the answer. Okay, just start off by writing that. Begin the problem by writing that down. Okay. And then put these guys in here and these guys in here. Okay. So let's try one with a little bit more of a visual approach to it. Put some negatives in there. So start with a line and 2 minus signs. Okay. Start that. Now put your Y's in there. And then let's see if I can look at it. And then put your X's in there. So 2 and 4 come down. 2, -4. -1, -3. And now your negatives and positives and all of those start canceling out. 2 negatives make a positive. 2 negatives make a positive. So 2 plus 4 is 6. -1 plus 3 is 2. Your answer is 3. Does that visual help a little bit? Kind of like a template. Let's try that again. Keep this idea. Start with the line and 2 bar, the bar and 2 minus signs. And then your Y's come down and your X's come down. So let's start with a bar and 2 minus signs. That's the beginning. And now we put the Y's in place. And we put the X's in place. Six minus 6 is 0. -5 minus 2 is -7, which is 0. Does that work all right? Everyone see that a little better maybe for those of you that are having issues?
Mr. Uncle?
Yes.
So first of all, we do minus y2 minus y1.
Yeah, like I said, you could do it in either direction. And for people that are having issues with this one, it's probably best to just do it from left to right. But you know, like I said, as long as you go left to right, you have to stay left to right. You know, I put the 6 and the 6 down, you know, I have to put these guys in place too. I can't go from left to right and then right to left. I have to just stick with one pattern, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what about the other method that you showed us?
Oh, the stacking one?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, if you like that one, stick with that one. That one works too. You know, again, it's based upon the idea that, you know, to go from 6 to 6, you go 0. And from -5 to 2, you're going 7. You're going 7. So your answer is 0 over 7, which is 0. It still comes up with the same number.
Yeah.
You see, that's the same idea.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Try that one, ladies and gentlemen. Bring down your y's, and then bring down your x's. Put your answer in the private chat once you found it. So people are messing up their signs, guys. If I'm seeing people putting sevens into the chat, that means that they're not dealing with their negatives right. Okay, so the 3 and the 4, -3, -4. Two negatives cancel out. 3 minus 4, -1. -4 plus 3 is -1, which is 1. Try that one. Okay. Six and -3, -2 and -2. Two negatives make a positive, two negatives make a positive. 9, -2 plus 2 is 0. And this is what? Yes, it's undefined. You cannot divide by 0. Okay. So let's practice this. Here's my paper. Okay. Let's try doing one on a grid. You don't have to copy this down. You just got to watch. So when I'm looking at a graph and I want to find the slope, we go down the line until we find a point like that. And it's just a good idea to maybe find one more just to make sure that you've got like an equally spaced pattern, right? Okay, and now we're going to walk from one point to the other point, kind of making a right triangle here. So we went down, so that's -2. And then we went right, which is +3. And you'll see that it's the same pattern here too. Okay, so my slope is the rise over the run, right? And the rise is -2. And the run is 3. And since that doesn't reduce, we're done. Okay. So you tell me see if you can find the slope of that line. And put it in the private chat. Okay, I've got a couple people that have answered correctly. That's good. Remember, it's rise over run. How much do you go up? And how much do you go over? Is this a positive slope or a negative slope?
Positive.
Right, because it's going up. So the number that you get should be a positive number. Okay. So looking down the line until we find a point, here's one. It almost looks like it hits, but there it definitely does. So let's just keep walking a little further, and there's another one. So we can kind of see that they're evenly spaced, which is good, because we really wanted that. You know, if they weren't evenly spaced, then we probably made a mistake somewhere, or we missed a point. So now we're going to go up and over to make that right triangle. Okay, like, you know, if you wanted to go from this place to this place on a city map, you would have to go north for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks. And then you'd have to go east for 3 blocks. So you are rising 5 and you are running 3. And just to make sure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. So it is 5/3. Okay. Okay, so so wait a minute. Let me ask you this question. I'm going to draw the exact same line. It's not going to be different in any way. Oh, wait, this one is different, isn't it? Whoops. What's the slope of this line? Remember to reduce your fractions.
2/1. So it's just 2, right?
Yeah, you don't need to put over 1 because remember, dividing by 1 doesn't do anything. So you're up to over 1. That's right. A lot of people put that in the chat. And 2 divided by 1 is 2. Now, let me ask you this question. What's the slope of that line?
-1/2.
Okay. Yeah. So a minute ago, well, first of all, you told me that you just said, and you're right, this is -1/2. And then when we did it over here, the slope was 2. So are these two lines parallel, perpendicular, or neither?
Maybe parallel.
Well, parallel would mean that they would both be pointing up at least, right?
Yes.
So if I was to draw a slope of -1/2, it would look like this. Take a look. You got a right angle right there, don't you? And you can see it with a ruler if you put a ruler in there. Okay, and this is what we were talking about before. Let me just kind of review that. Parallel lines, oh, excuse me, have equal slopes. And perpendicular lines have slopes negative reciprocals. That means flip the sign, then flip the fraction. Neither are anything are not these. They're not parallel, nor are they perpendicular. They're just something else. Okay. So let's practice that for just a second. Has everyone got this copied? I'll do an example down here then. So I'm looking for parallel, and parallel lines have equal slopes. So what is the answer to this question?
-1/3, maybe.
Is it, well, I want it to be equal to this. This is a positive.
Oh, so 1/3.
Yeah. And now let's ask the next question. So if I'm perpendicular,
-3.
yeah, always reduce your fraction. So I flip the sign. So this is a positive. My answer is going to be negative. And then I take this fraction and I turn it upside down. And that just becomes -3. Okay. All right. You good? So what about, let me ask you this question. I'm going to give you 4 points. I'm going to name them A, B, C, and D. Okay. So I have these 4 points, A, B, C, and D. And I want to know, I have 3 questions. First question. So to find the answer to this question, you're going to take points A and B, because that's what that is. That's the line segment between A and B. Actually, we'll just make it a line, put arrows on it. You're going to find the slope between A and B. That's your first question. The second question, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to find the slope, but this time between C and D. Okay. And then you're going to answer this question once you know them. So does everyone know what you're supposed to be doing? use the slope formula on A and B to get this answer. Use the slope formula between C and D to get this answer. And then use your notes to find out if they are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. Put your answers in the chat, please. Okay, getting a lot of right answers. Nice. Okay. Good. Remember, rise over run. Some people are flipping their fractions when they shouldn't be. Okay. Okay. So, the slope of AB. So 3 and 4, 4 and 3, 1 and 4. 1 over -3, -1/3. Remember, we always put the negatives up top. CD. 7 and 6, 4 and 7, 1 all over -3, which is -1/3. And since the two of them are equal, they are parallel. Good. Okay. So a reciprocal is when you take the number and you flip it upside down. And this is x1 and y1 and x2 and y2. Okay. Let's try that one more time, and then I'm going to cut you loose on working on a problem set. Okay. All right. A is 4, -2. B is -5, 1. C is 2, 6. And D is 3, 9. So same questions. Reduce your fractions. If you've gotten a notice from me in the chat saying that it is correct, go to my Canvas page and look under the announcements for the next assignment. All right. So for the rest of the block, please go to the Canvas page and take a look at the announcement. And there is a homework assignment in there. All right, let me share my screen. So you have a document here. Notice I'm trying to make this very clear. Make sure you're putting the subject line correctly. And this is your document. And let's take a quick look at it. So for questions 1 through 8, just find the slope of the line. Sometimes from the graph, sometimes with the formula. Okay. And then for these questions, 9 through 13, they're just like the one we did a minute ago in class. Okay, exactly the same thing. You're going to give me the slopes, and you're going to give me whether they're parallel, perpendicular, or neither. Okay. And then for number 14, you just find the slope like you did up here in 6, 7, 8. And number 15 is a little tricky. We'll go over that next class. We'll worry about that later, but that you can solve if you use the formula. Okay. So if you want to forget about 15, that's okay. But go ahead and get to work on this while we're here in class. We still have 15 minutes because I'm going to ask you a question about this homework before you leave today. So that's going to be part of your exit slip. So let's get to work on that assignment now. Okay, so I'm hoping that people have been working on this worksheet. If you have, that's great. Please put your answer to number 5 in the chat, and then you can go. Reduce. Yeah, I just want the answer to number 5. Always reduce.
Once we answer, can we go?
If I've told you that it's correct.
Oh,
If you have put it in, Allison, I don't see your answer in here yet.
oh, I put it privately.
Yeah, I just didn't see it. If you haven't already put in your answer, please put it in again so that I can check it. I might have missed it. Mary, are you here? Mary, are you here? I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, I am. Sorry.
Oh, okay, because class ended a minute ago and I've been waiting for you. Did you solve number 5?
No, not really. I've been
Okay.
struggling.
If you need help with this stuff, please find me during my office hours.
Okay.
You know, we'll get this we'll do this together and we'll get it right. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Every day after school. I hope to see you. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Bye-bye.